Going good. Fine morning for some racing this morning. So yeah, we have 10 cars up in the top 10 shootout. We will have Brad Cook going out first. Then we'll see Zhang, Jacob Maggs, Conor Heinz, Corey Sweet, Albert, Shady Samuel, Jamie, Koza, Ryan Houlihan, and Philippa Paquita. So quite a few fast people out on track. About to head in. How are you feeling about this, Steve?
Yeah, always looking forward to this. Love the shootout. It's always great to see the best drivers put in that one lap and see how fast they can go.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. It's excellent morning for racing, and I'm really excited to see some fastest sim racers in Australia really take it out in a it's going to be 2 laps this time round for the fastest lap, and yeah, really keen to see it.
So I reckon the times we'll be achieving today will be into the 52s or 53s. I reckon the highest we'll see is maybe a low 52, 52.1 from the top people.
Yeah, I definitely think 52 is on the table today. It'd be tight to see it get to a 52.1. But I think you're spot on. I think definitely the top guys there definitely have the opportunity to get it that fast, which just to me is it's an insane time. I mean, I think 53 is a really quick time as well, and then you see the top guys jump into the 52s. It's just crazy.
Especially when you've only got that 1 or 2 laps to do it. So just, really put it right on the edge and then not go that little bit over the edge and then invalidate yourself.
Yeah, so those of you who do not know the format for today, each driver has 2 laps to set their fastest time. If you invalidate a lap, then you will not get a lap back. So if you invalidate both of them, you'll have no time set for the race. And the fastest people in the qualifying for the whole event will be going out last, and the people who are 10th will be going first.
As we see Brad Cook out there on track now, warming his tyres up. Looking very nice in the white and red out there MRT Cowabunga Porsche out there. One of 2 Porsches it looks like out in the field today, so good to see, I guess, a little bit of variety for the top 10. It's not all completely dominated by the Ferrari at this stage, but now looking good.
So I believe we have a few people making their debut in the top 10 shootout today. I believe this is Brad Cook's first shootout tonight, and Red Rebel Racing, this is their first time in the top 10 shootout, so let's see what they can do.
Always a lot of pressure. Always a lot of pressure. I was going to say, always a lot of pressure if you're the teammate trying to put the lap down. When you know you've usually got as many fast teammates as yourself. Puts the big pressure to get it there right for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Brad's got his mates looking on in his ear, either giving him encouragement or taking the piss, either way, depending on how well he's driving. But no, Brad's a very technical driver. I've driven against him a couple of times in a few seasons in the Sprint Series, and he is one hell of a competitor. I've hardly ever seen him put a foot wrong during a lap, so it'll be very interesting to see. He's currently more than 3/10 up on his lap, almost. It was dropping there for a little bit. See how he goes coming into the RL curve and then the Warnsteifer curve. So we'll see how that goes, and then onto the back straight.
So I believe there's someone in the comments saying there'll be a 52.7 for pole. I personally believe that will be a bit beaten. 52.5 from JP. I personally think it'll be a 52.3. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I reckon Page would be pretty close on the money there. Just to be different, I think a 52.4 right in the middle of everyone there, just to stand out from the crowd. But I think it's going to be very tight. I think particularly for the top three, four drivers, that 52, mid 52 is definitely going to be on the cards. As we see, Brad, he's finished his lap. He's come in there with a very nice 53.7. That's very well done. Nothing to scoff at all, and that should be a good starting place to see where the rest of the field lines up.
Yeah, it's a great start. Well done to Brad.
As we see Zhang out on the field, he's coming down the main straight now and kicking off his first lap.
Always important to get this braking marker right. Get yourself off to a good start to the lap.
Bangs it off the limiter, coming down from that 100-meter board mark. Coming through the Mercedes arena section now. That's always I always struggle in this section of the track. I've got to admit, it's just one of those really technical. You can take about 100 different lines into turns 3 and 4, I think. And I don't think I've ever gotten it right, but it looks like definitely Jiwei here has got it bang on the money here. He's well and truly got his pace up.
Yep, that did look very smooth through there. As you say, it's very hard to get the right amount of braking and the right amount of accelerators to just get out of there. But that looks smooth, and smooth is normally fast, isn't it? So keen to see where he finishes up on this lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe the Porsche isn't at its best around this track, but in the hands of Zhang, I reckon he could get it in quite a good lap. He's a second up right now from a lap he's previously set. Going through, this is the Kumho curve, now the bit curve.
I'm going to have to touch up on my German here, I think, for calling out some of these corner names. They're definitely a bit interesting.
Coming into the chicane, extremely fast. Very easy to lose some time by clipping the curves wrong.
Yeah, it's very tidy through there.
Very tidy.
Yeah.
Last corner, makes his way out. This looks like it'll be quite a good lap. Coming across the line. The 54.2. So half a second off of our current leader, Brad Cook. So he'll need to find half a second to just maybe pip him.
That's just
I guess he's just... Yeah, it looks like he's just getting comfortable with the car and just making sure he's got his tyres warmed up into the right pressures. And we can already see that he's about a 10th up, but he has lost it a little bit through this sector. So hopefully he can gain that half a second and battle Cook to the line.
And here's the battle for the Porsches. These two are only Porsches in the top 10, these two.
Yeah, it's interesting, as you said. It's Porsche isn't quite the strongest car through here, so seeing them in 10th and 9th in the quali was great to see. But you are right, like they're just at that slight disadvantage compared to some of the other more stronger cars around this track. But we see that he's matching his previous time. He's only up by half a tenth. As it slowly seems to trickle down and tweaks around that middle half a tenth there. Hopefully he can absolutely nail this third sector and pull some time.
It's like he's gained nearly a tenth through the bit curve onto the back straight. The not so much of a corner through up to the chicane.
See if he sends it.
Yep, send it through here, leaving it all his time and to the last chicane.
Yeah, very nice. Very tidy. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to match Brad there. So Brad's still safe for now, as he comes in with a 54 dead. Nice little lap. Very nice and tidy. Very, very calm. But he's probably hoping he could have got a little bit more out of that one.
Now we should be looking at Jacob Maggs in the Ferrari for Red Rebel Racing, coming through nearly up to the chicane, warming up his tyres, weaving along, hoping to maybe just get a good banker lap in first or absolutely send it.
Yeah,
you got to send it, don't you?
That's right. I'm just looking on the qualifying server. So Jacob's best lap was a 153.2. So let's see if he can get himself anywhere close to that. I did see in the chat, Philippa was saying it's a little bit warm to maybe set the best laps that they can do. So we'll see how close he can get.
Yeah, absolutely. First, the Ferraris out there. I just find the Ferrari is just such a strong race car. It's not necessarily one to put the fastest hot lap down, but I mean, we say that, and I've definitely seen some very fast times out of it. I mean, a 53.2 from Mags here is nothing to scoff at in the slightest. It's a very quick time, and I think Jakey here has everything in his power to get pretty close to it. But yeah, the Ferrari is just such a strong race car. I think definitely come for the race, across its stints, it'll be a very dominant car for sure.
Yeah, I learnt that the Ferrari, it's very easy to get it near the limit, but that last a second is really hard to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, personally, I haven't spent much time in the Ferrari itself. I don't know if either of you guys have spent much time driving the Ferrari around.
Yeah, this is my go-to car. I always feel if you at any point in time or any sort of way, if you can get to drive a Ferrari, then why wouldn't you? So I've gone from the 488 now to the 296, and love it. It's a really good car.
Ferrari man through and through. There we go.
So as Mags is coming up to the chicane, missing that inside curb, maybe just taps the one on the second. Coming around the final corner, looks like it'll be a pretty good first lap. He's kept it valid. He's coming across the line now, and it's a 54.2. So maybe one.
So yep, very tidy, but guess those warmer temperatures definitely coming into play today.
A respectable first lap. He's matching his first lap now. He takes the grass at turn 2. Maybe lost a little bit of time. Takes the curb, coming onto a little straight right here. He's 10th up.
Absolutely, using all the track there and some.
So do we think with these warmer temperatures we need to be revising what we think our pole time's going to be?
Potentially, and it's definitely making Cook's first lap time that he set much. I don't want to say much more impressive, but it's definitely set the bar for some of these other drivers to come through and match.
Yeah, I just noticed in chat Pip saying that she was doing 53s in this service, so we know she's good for a low 52. So yeah, maybe a very low 53 will be thereabouts.
Still,
we know Philippa likes to downplay a little bit sometimes. I'll be very interested to see the time that eventually gets pulled out for her lap.
So I believe Jacob Maggs is about a 10th up on his first lap. Through chicane. Takes a lot of the sausage curb on the second.
That looked great, didn't it? On board, that looked fantastic. So smooth through there.
Absolutely no oversteer or understeer at the final corner, and it looks to be a 53.9. So quite a good lap there, beating Zhang, but not pipping Brad Cook just yet. He's about 2.5 tenths off. Hemmed out now in the pink MRT car, but he's wanting to probably pip Brad Cook in the other MRT car for bragging rights.
Yeah, we love a bit of inter-team rivalry here. It's all about the bragging rights when it comes to a couple of teams in the top 10 shootout. and it's always fantastic to see, and we love the banter that comes out of that as well.
Breaking it just before the 100-meter board. Very neat and tidy, easy on the power out of turn 1. Really using all the track here as he's going into turn 3. Turns in relatively early compared to me. Takes a lot of the inside curve there, and that lines him up well for this straight.
Yeah, really opened him up for that turn 4. Turn in and exit, really opened that up and just get straight back on the power.
Yeah, look pretty fast through there. It's easy to lose a lot of time through there, isn't it, if you just slow down a little bit too much. And as they say, when you're in those slow corners, that's where you can lose a lot more time than a fast corner, just because you're in it for longer.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes or breaks, I think, your lap around here for sure.
Coming through to the Schumacher S's. Will he just do a slight lift? Oh, he tries. Oh, that's a big lift. Makes that pretty well. Looked easy.
Using all the curb on the entry there.
Used a lot of the green stuff on the outside on entry. Very slippery there.
Oh, nice and tidy through turn 11. This comes down the back straight into the, not a corner. And we'll see how far he sends it into the chicane.
Breaks at the 50. Takes both sausages using all of the track. The setup
there
seems to be coping with it. Very tidy out of the last corner. Extending the track.
That is definitely one thing about the new Ferrari. You can do a lot more curbing than you can in the old 488.
Yeah, straight to the top with a 153.4. That is a great time.
So that seems to be confirmed 7th place, I believe, for Conor Heinz. He's already up on his time by about a 10th.
Yeah, looking very solid. Already got bragging rights. Now he's putting a nail in that coffin.
That's it. MRT boys will be yelling and screaming over comms at that one. That was an absolute fantastic lap. And we can see that he's still in the green as he goes down into Sector 2. Looking very pacey on board there. Using all the green stuff. We love that. As he comes down into the Dunlop curb, let's see how he holds it together.
Yeah.
A little bit of curb on the inside there.
Put it a bit out of shape.
Yeah, and he's lost about a 10th, but still got a few more corners to make that back. Find a little bit extra time.
Oh, sent it through there, and you can see it's cost him a little bit of time, and it's just doing that classic ACC flash red, grey, green constantly as he teeters on the edge of being faster or slower than his previous time. Not that we can really take much of Kunos things when it comes to the timing board sometimes, but definitely looking to at least match the pace, so we know he's consistent. But we'll see through the chicane as he sends it over the second curb. Look at and it's out, and it's completely invalidated his lap time. I mean, you got to go for broke here.
That's right.
You do what you can, but that was tops.
Yeah, that was the way you do it. Into the last corners where you need to make it. Just have a go.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he already put the 53.4 down. That's a top time, and that'll be extremely competitive for the rest of the shootout. So you got to do it. You have to send it. I agree.
That would have given that first lap would have given the next driver up, Corey Sweet, a run for his money. Very orange livery, as he's warming up his brakes and tires, dragging them quite a lot.
Yep, getting it into the range there as he tidily drives through, warming up his tyres through the chicane. Nice and slow into the last corner, and then just bang onto the accelerator. Off he goes down the main straight. Let's set a lap.
Corey Sweet's PB in the qualifying was a 53.2, and his average was a 53.3. So if he can set one of those laps, he will be on it for maybe a top 5 or a pole position.
That's very consistent, isn't it? To put a 53.2 as your best, but to be averaging around that 53.3, that's just fast lap after fast lap. So He's definitely got the consistency down. Let's see if he's got the pace to take it to the other Ferraris.
We know he's a pretty fast driver, so I'd be surprised if he can't, if he's not up there with them, or better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's Conor Heinz' time there is definitely in a bit of jeopardy. Quick time, but we know that Sweet also is right up there. So we'll see as he comes around the Dunlop curb. Using all the track, a little bit of the green stuff through the Schumacher S's.
Took a bit of a lift through the Schumacher S's. Bit more of a, less of a lift than Conor Heinz, so maybe just pushing a bit more. Coming through the bit curve. Very neat and tidy, taking a lot of the outside curve. Now through turn 13, I'm not going to try to pronounce the corner name.
We'll just call it the chicane coming through here. I don't particularly want to try and pronounce that one either. I don't want to butcher the German language too hard, but he's coming around the last corner, down the main straight, and it's going to... Well, 54.28, so that's put him nice tidy banker lap there, but we're interested to see is how much more time he can potentially pull out of this lap. This does put him currently at the bottom of the table.
Seem to be taking quite a much later apex than the other Ferraris through the last corner. Maybe just trying to focus on exit speed a bit more. And he's a 10th up coming out of sector 1.
He's got a little bit of time up on him, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. He's already... There you go. Already pulling up 2 tenths now as he comes down the one of the back straights.
Yeah, he's done really well through that section. Got himself a couple of tenths. See how he goes through the slow piece here. That's looking good.
Yeah, look at that. Well, not quite as... He had a lot of mid-corner speed there, but kind of lost a little bit on exit. But he's kept it tidy through the Schumacher S's for sure.
Really extending the track on the inside of turn 11. Seems to be 2 tenths up, and he's got a brilliant exit. Coming through the before chicane corner, 2 tenths up.
It was looking good, but he's just going to have to pull out just a little bit more if he's going to try and pip Jiwei there. In the Porsche ahead of him.
Needs about another half a tenth.
He's going to need, that half a tenth. So there he goes.
Is that Kunos saying it's 4 tenths now, or is that?
Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely 4 tenths. He absolutely nailed the chicane in that last corner. Boosted his time up another 1.5 to 2 tenths there, and putting him up into third, beating Mags and Zhang there.
I believe he must have made a mistake through the last corner in his first lap in the late apex, so he just took a very shallow line and shortened the track quite a bit.
Yeah, I think you were saying there he was going for the that late apex, and I think he potentially knew that he'd already was riding off that lap and just wanted to focus on that exit speed, get that time gained. As we see now is Albert takes down the main straight in the awesome looking McLaren there. That's what I want to see. I want to see more McLarens on track.
Who does have a PB in the 152s, so we'll see how close we get to a 152 on this run.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Does that mean you're a McLaren driver then? If
I am a McLaren fanboy, yes. I have been driving the McLaren in the Sprint Series now very consistently, I think is the term I'll use, for a good year and a half now, I think it is. I very rarely switch it up. I'm a bit of a McLaren main man, so Was very excited to see the Evo drop not long after 1.9, after having the original car be neglected for a good chunk of the 1.8 update. So definitely a big fan of the Evo and what it can do. Very racy, and I think that'll be, without putting too much bias on here, it'll be very racy on track today.
Seems to be running a very, very rearwards brake bias. On the setup I was given by a good friend, they said that 51% was very aggressive, but they're running 47, so really extreme, what's the word?
I think the rear, very extreme, very aggressive brake bias towards the rear there. I actually personally think that 47 is not too bad. When we did the Nurburgring, the Sprint Series, not that long ago, I was running, I mean, it was wet, but I was running in the 47, 48% as well. So it's not too uncommon to see the brake bias around that that 50% mark. It definitely helps with the turn in and whatnot. It's a very nimble car, and you want to take as much advantage of that as you possibly can.
Look at that, guys. He's up into P2 on the banker, so you're interested to see what he can add to that this lap.
Yeah, absolutely, and only less than 2/10 down behind Conor. So he's just got to pull out a couple of, as that cone goes absolutely flying, just got to pull out a couple of tenths here, and he can taste pole.
Seems to be up by 10th and a half, which is about the gap to Conor Heinz in pole position. Hoping to get it really neat and tight. He goes very wide on entry. That might have helped him a bit on exit. I believe he's 3/10 up now. Going through the Schumacher S's, a little bit of a lift. Very neat and tidy, nailing it.
It's looking very racy. I think we're definitely on here for a provisional pole lap. If you can just, that green stuff can be deadly sometimes. Just see a little wiggle as he goes round there, but he's flying down this back straight, and we'll see how far he sends it into the chicane.
Hitting about 240, 250 k's an hour into the chicane. Very short braking zone.
Oh, hits it over both curbs.
A lot of curbs.
Or it's extremely slidey on entry. Very unlucky, losing about 2/10 in the process. And that's going to be very close.
So close.
So close. He'll be kicking himself with, unfortunately, just losing it that tiny, tiny bit through the last corner. And that is a top time, and it just shows how competitive these top drivers are. Less than a tenth in it.
So here we have Shady Samuel, one of the top drivers in the Sprint Series Split Blue. I believe he has a few wins under his name, so he knows what he's doing. Bits are taking an extremely wide line on entry to
very wide line. Here we go. Oh.
Get that.
Watch that curb.
So he's another driver who's posted a 52 time into the quali server. So what was the fastest? There's still a 53.4, isn't it?
At this stage, yes. Yes, 53.4 is the fastest.
All right.
And it'll be interesting to see how close Shady comes to that one. In the Kovacs McPurple McLaren, as he's absolutely just feathering that wheel. Just you can see the inputs there of him just trying to balance that edge.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement then, wasn't there? Does that show a car that's really set up on the knife edge to go fast to a fast quali lap?
Yeah, I think that's the way Shady likes it. Loves driving on the edge. Very tidy through Dunlop there. See how he goes going into the Schumacher S's, up on the curb. Sends it in, or...
That was only a small lift.
small lift. It was off for a little bit and wasn't full throttle for a fraction there, but he's managed to keep it really tidy despite the what the wheel inputs may dictate.
Yeah, there are only little movements on the wheel, though, aren't they? So that's not the back end kicking out and going to be activating the TC, I don't think.
He sends it through the chicane. Bounce, a little bit of counter steer there, but looking very pacey. He comes across the line. 53.8, good enough for fourth.
Quite a good lap there.
Yeah, great banker lap, and we'll see how he goes coming into his second run.
In the greens, out of turn 1, so that's a good start.
Always a great start when you're in the greens.
Always hate that when you mess up turn 1. And you've got
such a data for the whole lap from that
That's
point.
right.
You just want you chasing your own tail, yeah.
He's leaving it all though to the last half of the lap though to get himself a few more positions up. That looked good. Found half a tenth there.
Yeah, it's going to really come down to how much speed he can carry through these faster corners in the second half of the lap.
As you said, he
managed
did
to keep
lift.
that 10th up, yeah.
Yeah, he's bit of a long lift in. That was a lesser lift then, so let's see what he gets coming out of the Schumacher
Yeah,
races.
he's definitely gaining time there. At least half a tenth, so he's on track. He's a bit wide, bit shallow, and then wide on exit there, but he's managed to pull it up really nicely for turn 11. Now, is it going to be enough? He still needs more, just over a tenth to pit Brad Cook.
He's
Going to be all for the chicane.
He's put it all on the table there, and he's slid out wide. And unfortunately, that looks like it's going to be that's going to be it.
Yep, that looks like it. Solid effort into P4.
Yeah, absolutely. Solid effort into P4. 100%. It was a great drive, Shady.
So next out we have Jamie Koza in the 555 orange car. Hoping to maybe get pole position in I believe this is the last Ferrari in the top 10 shootout.
Yeah, another 52 PB out of this Ferrari, so definitely a contender here for the top of the grid. Last corner, and then we are down the main straight, and we'll start this lap.
Nice wide entry.
Good tight exit as we go into turn 2. Nice. Early apex, tidy line. Oh, a bit oversteer. Oh, no. Keeps it together, but unfortunately that's going to be a bit costly on the timing sheet.
Yeah, we'll have to remember that when we see him come through for his second one, that there's definitely probably a tenth or two there, isn't there, out of that?
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be thinking next time round, nail that one and you automatically gain some time.
Better to throttle a little bit on exit there. Maybe just the car wasn't ready for full throttle yet. Going to the hairpin. The Dunlop Carrere. Apparently that's how you say it. Looking like he's...
Amazing German pronunciation there.
I do my German accent.
Just hope that the little slide at the start of the lap here hasn't spooked him too much. The lap is looking very tidy, but I'd say it's very, very conservative. But we all know that if it looks looks a little bit slower. It's generally very tidy, and that equals to more speed. So it'll be interesting to see where this lap time ends up, and knowing for a fact that he's probably got a lot more time in it as he sends it over that second curb.
Yeah, I think he's got those tyres nice and warm now, and so here we go. Game face.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Visor down, here we go.
So, pretty good banker. It seems like all the bankers for a lot of the grid is 54.2s. So that was, if it was only first laps, it would be a very close field. He seems to be already a 10th up on his first lap. Let's see how much he can gain on exit turn 2 through that first mistake. Seems to be a little bit squirrely again, but he's made about 4/10.
Yes, this is looking
very
pretty
close
solid.
to the white line there too. I was a little bit worried there he might invalidate and that'd be an absolute disaster. But yeah, 4/10 up. Look how much time he's gained already just through that first sector. Page in chat, Shady had a Windows pop up on his second lap. Nah, that's rough.
Oh no.
Nothing worse than being interrupted by a Windows update.
So you see Jamie half a second up, taking a lot of the outside on the green stuff, coming up to the Schumacher S's. A little bit of a lift.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good. We must be looking somewhere around third place now.
As he gains even more time through turns 10 and 11.
Here we go, down the straight. One chicane left to negotiate.
You go onto the sand a little bit through the bit curve, turn 12. They're really trying to get all of the time out of that car. Slight lift in the middle of the chicane.
Oh, look at that.
That's
Absolute.
aggressive. This is going to
might
be
on.
close.
Yeah, this is going to be on for pole if we're not. Oh, just a little bit on the exit there, and up into P3 by less than a tenth. Again, those top three, less than a tenth of each other. That's just nuts. But he absolutely sent it through that chicane. That was
he did. That was
a lot
fantastic.
of time gain. That was fantastic. Yeah.
So now we are riding on board with Ryan Houlihan for the Alpha Venturi racing team. Seems that his PB was a 52.6, so a very capable driver at the Nurburgring. So he would be hoping and guessing for a pole position.
This will be interesting, won't it? Because here we've got a couple of drivers coming up now who are deep into the 152s in their qualifying to see whether they can trouble the 52s with the server settings as they are.
Yeah, absolutely. That 818 McLaren looking very, very racy. As he goes a little bit wide on the turn there, but it was all controlled, so pushing the limits as far as they can. That's what really just makes the difference between a good driver, a fast driver, and the top tier guys is just how much track they use. It's sometimes insane. Sitting on board, just seeing how much they just utilize the track and how much speed they can carry through because of it.
Yeah, and the thing that you just sort of appreciate when you try and do it yourself is, they're hitting the throttle to get that close to the edge on the exit, well and truly before the apex. And, it's a very, very fine thing, isn't it, to know exactly how much throttle you can put in and what angle you need to end up at that spot, millimeters away from the track exit limits.
The precision is insane.
They had a very small lift through the Schumacher S's, so McLaren really liking the high downforce corners. Just a little bit away from the apex of turn 12, going through the before chicane corner. Not really a corner, hitting 240, 250 k's an hour, braking at the 50, or taking the inside sausage, is throwing them out a little bit.
So he absolutely sent it through there.
Nearly across the line. It's a 53.4, it's pole position.
Very nice.
Right to the top.
Divisional pole for Ryan Houlihan to 53.4.
Yeah, that was great. And it looked a bit bumpy, didn't it, coming through the chicane? So I'm going to guess that if he can hold the rest of the lap there, he'll be hoping he's got a little bit more through that chicane.
Still insanely close to the top four, separated by a tenth and a tenth and a half nearly. So
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? It's great to see that. Nice and close.
He's
confirmed.
still got more in it though, I reckon. I reckon he's going to be able to pull something out here. If he keeps it up, 53-2 potentially.
So a confirmed front row for Ryan Houlihan and the Alpha Venturi racing team. He's about half a tenth up now, coming just out of Sector 1 into Sector 2 at the Dunlop curve.
Looks like he's growing that lead through there. Or, no, come back down again.
Seems to be getting a good exit of the Schumacher S's, taking a lot of the inside entry curve. 2 tenths up nearly.
Yeah, nearly 2 tenths up.
All right, I reckon this is going to be dangerous for the 152s, isn't it? Because I reckon there's 2 tenths in that chicane. He can find.
Just, nail that exit.
Very nice through.
Oh, look at that.
Chicane. Gained a bit of time.
He's going to be up 3 tenths coming out of the last corner. Oh, he's lost a little bit on exit, but still, that is a top time. 53-2.
Fantastic.
What a lap from Ryan Houlihan.
Great job, Hooli.
Now,
Okay, Hooli's throwing the gauntlet down. What can Philippa do?
He hasn't made it easy for her, that's for sure.
Philippa, one of the top SRO racers in the world, pretty much. Raced in the Sim Racing World Cup. So a lot of experience in high pressure scenarios. Let's see what she can do.
Yeah, I've seen this BMW do some pretty incredible laps over the last few events that we've seen it in. So very excited to see what Philippa can bring to the table.
Yeah, and she'll know she's got it in her. So it's just a matter of stringing it all together, isn't it? To get a lap. It's going to be competitive with Hooli.
She got pole position last time out. Oh no, sorry, she got pole position in Valencia 2 races ago, so she knows what she's doing. She seems to be on a very smooth lap.
And so how is the Beamer here these days? Is this a competitive car with the McLaren?
I don't believe it's that great in 1.9 right now, but I'm pretty sure it can still be up there with the right person in the car.
Yeah, I don't think 1.9 was particularly nice to the Beamer, but when it comes to Philippa's Beamer, it just seems to be on another level.
I've just noticed Philippa is running no TC right now, so it has to be very, very nice to the throttle pedal.
Wow. Especially if you have ever driven one of Philippa's setups, how deadly they are, even with traction control turned on. That's lethal.
That's just absolutely insane.
Hitting a lot of top end on that Beamer, hitting 252 on the back straight. About 10 k's an hour faster than everyone else. It's hardy.
Yeah, I found that the top end of that Beamer has been consistently quite high. As we see it come across the line, and it's straight to the top of the 52.9 there. It is the first 52 of the day from the last driver out, Philippa Paquita.
With 1 lap to spare as well.
With 1 lap to spare.
This is the glory lap.
Do the whole lap with no TC.
So she seems to be running 2 TC2 through Sector 1, so using active TC on her flying laps, matching her time.
Well, she said she wasn't particularly too hyped on getting there, but we've seen the 52 come out, and we can see if that time can be beaten even further. More 2/10 up on her next rival, Houlihan.
Yeah, that's a commanding gap. When you look at the rest of the top 5 there, that's a solid lead, isn't it?
That's it, nearly half a second faster than third. In Conor and the Ferrari there, that's just absolutely flying. A result that has surprised absolutely no one. Firelord, you're absolutely right. I don't think anyone's too surprised at the fact that we have such a dominant time, but it's always still incredibly impressive when you see it.
Yeah, and she's right on the button as well, so depending how this last corner goes, there might even be a slight improvement.
Takes a lot of the curbs. Oh, geez, up on a
That is looking good.
And she's going to go faster again.
52.947.
Just really wanted to rub it in.
Fantastic work, Pip.
And fantastic work from all of our top 10 drivers there. Some incredibly fast times, very competitive. And I don't know about you guys, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. I always love seeing the top guys come out and battle it out on the in the top 10 shootout. It's definitely one of my highlights for the endurance weekends.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and everyone really put in some good laps in, didn't they? There wasn't, no real sort of people that invalidated or didn't get a solid lap in then. So great to see everyone really hit their straps.
Yeah, so absolutely.
The top 3 coming out for their lap. So we have Philippa Paquita on pole position, Ryan Houlihan, Conor Heinz, Huang Albert, Jamie Koza, Brad Cook, Shady Samuel, Corey Sweet, and I believe Jacob Maggs and Zhang. That concludes our top 10.
And we've got 3 different manufacturers in the top 3 positions, with a Porsche not too far off there as well, coming in at 6th. That's good to see.
It's a great result from MRT especially. Up there for 2 cars, going side by side into Sector 2. It's Philippa Paquita and Houlihan.
And will they be doing that this afternoon?
Most likely. We've seen them do it
We've
once.
seen a few Enduros now where it's come down to the absolute wire, and I'm hoping today's no different.
What a top 10 shootout we had today.
Yep, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no, well done, and looking forward to seeing myself. I'll be out there today as well. I'll be participating in today's race, doing our potentially last to slightly less than last challenge, hopefully. Yeah, Steve, I think you're out there as Wooly does a nice little slide out there, trying the no TC strat that Paquita was pulling off. But Steve, you're going to be out there today as well?
Yes, mate, I'll be out there. Straight after this, I'll be jumping on, doing a few laps. I'd be happy if I can get myself down into the 153s, but yeah, get warmed up, ready to rock and roll, pumped.
That's it. No, get psyched, guys. We'll be looking to race times 1 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, so a couple of hours. But we definitely want you guys to be tuning in for that one, as it's definitely, judging by these times, going to be a very exciting race and some awesome 6 hours worth of racing.
And we can see
that was a great call. Thanks very much. Looking forward to this afternoon. We've 1 p.m. start. Shakedown server will be up at 12, and plenty of time to get your eye in. And looking forward to 6 hours of fun. So, on behalf of myself and our 3 intrepid commentators, I'll say goodbye for now, and we shall be back in a couple of hours.